Just a day after a wave of bombs sent to government officials as well as CNN, the president has doubled down on his rhetoric against the media. Now, following reports, of course, of suspicious packages being sent to former President Barack Obama, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Representative Maxine Waters, former Attorney General Eric Holder, and billionaire funder George Soros, as well as, I believe, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump said something controversial. Of course, what doesn't he say that is controversial? The media, he said, also has a responsibility to set a civil tone and stop the endless hostility and constant negative and oftentimes false attacks and stories. Have to do it. They've got to stop. Bring people together. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, it's the media's fault. How dare the media not set a civil tone? You got to stop the hostility, media, and constant negative and false attacks. Stop it. Just stop it. It's your fault. You need to bring people together. Aren't you the president of the United States? Shouldn't it be your job to bring people together? Now, how's that working out? The guy has no shame, right? The audacity to blame the media for the endless hostility in this country, when literally before the rally began, there were chances of locking up your political opponents. I mean, there was also another rally, the Ted Cruz Donald Trump rally, where they basically said to Ted Cruz, "Oh, you should lock up Beto O'Rourke in the same cell as Hillary Clinton." Oh no, it's you guys, it's the media that's being uncivil. Motherfuckers out there gaslighting the entire fucking country right now. That's what they're doing. I mean, look, there are constant videos of Donald Trump that basically calling for violence, right? Hey, knock the crap out of him. There was a time that they would leave on a stretcher, according to, like talking to protesters. I like people who body slam others. You had him praising Greg Gianforte, who actually body slammed a reporter. Hey, if there's any violence, don't worry, I'll pay your legal bills. Don't worry about it. On and on and on. There's so many different examples of that. You want to talk about hostility? It's not even close. It's not even close. It feels like America right now is stuck in an abusive relationship with a narcissistic sociopath. You know what happens? People like that make things up. And then they tell you that what you've seen is not happening, right? It's not real. In a rally, he said, this is back in April, just remember what you're seeing and what you're reading is not really happening. Don't believe the crap you see from these people, the fake news. That's what he's out there saying. Oh, don't believe anything the media says. Believe everything that I say. And because they're lying. Because what you're seeing and reading, not actually true. Not actually true. You know why he's saying that? It's because people out there are actually exposing him for what it really is. He can't stand that. So, and his flunkies, people who support him, can't stand that. And so they call for violence. They blame and they project. Donald Trump is a sociopath. And look, I don't blame people for getting taken in. Why? It's because sociopaths tell you what you want to hear. They're naturally charming. And you think, no, that's somebody that I can trust. They got my back. Even while, they go behind your back and they stab you in your back. That's what a sociopath does. That's what a narcissist does. That's who Trump is, right? And he's got right-wing media, Fox News, Breitbart, InfoWars, etc., right behind him. They're aiding and abetting. For example, on the recent bombing, or attempted bombings, right? You had Tucker Carlson out there saying, oh, the right doesn't do this. We're not monsters. Really? You have Rush Limbaugh out there saying the same thing. Republicans would never do this. Never. Well, I got news for you, assholes. 71% of violent terrorism in the United States is perpetrated by the right wing. Muslim terrorists, they make up 24%, which is horribly disproportionate, by the way. And therefore, yes, is an actual issue. But it's not solved by demagoguing all Muslims. But the terrorist attacks from the left comprise about 2%. 2%. Oh, but keep fear-mongering about those so-called mobs that wouldn't let Mitch McConnell eat a quiet dinner. Mitch McConnell only wants to enjoy dinner and cut your Social Security and Medicare. Why won't you leave Mitch alone? Just leave Mitch alone. Left-wing violence, according to the right, is you yelling at them in a restaurant. That's what that's about. But right-wing violence, and we've seen this from the far right, is attempted murder. And in some cases, actual murder. People bombing abortion clinics, killing Dr. George Tiller. But hey, look, the media, by the way, the media, and I was watching CBS last night, and I know, that's my fault, right? They still call it even from both sides. Left wing, you know, they're partly at fault for the toxicity. You know, they're blaming CBS for this. The mainstream media can't stand it. Can't stand it when they call everything even. Even, oh, both sides. It's both sides. They're so afraid of being called liberal that they actually will refuse to tell the truth. Come on, man. They're blaming you. And not only that, but on 4chan, 8chan, and Trump Reddit, they're literally saying that these Democrats attempted to bomb themselves. Oh, no, they're bombing themselves. And they're sending themselves bombs so that they will end up winning in the midterms. Come on. The same people who push the toxicity in this country are now decrying the same toxicity. And of course, when the left decides, you know what, I'm going to fight fire with fire, well, now suddenly we're the terrible ones, we're the violent ones. It's all projection. I mean, this is what they do. Like, guys, why the negativity? We just think Hillary Clinton ran a pedo ring in the basement of a pizza shop. What's the problem? What's the problem? The problem is that you get crazy people going into pizza shops and shooting at people. That's what happens. Because there is some segment of the population that will listen to this stuff and decide, oh, I need to do something. I need to get violent. I need to go shoot somebody to go protect the babies, to protect the children. Or I need to go do something to protect America against these left-wing mobs. You guys are the problem. You're fake news. These right-wing pundits, by the way, they just use their base to get rich. They push their ideology. I'm sick of it. They feed you bullshit, they rile you up, and then they pick your pocket. And it works every single time. And if some of those people they end up riling up do violence against fellow Americans, well, I mean, sad day for you. Oh, by the way, it's not even real. It must be a false flag operation. Jeez. Why is the left so uncivil? Why is the media so left-wing? I wish the media was left-wing. I wish we actually had a left-wing media. The only place you can find it is on independent media and fucking YouTube. So, look, if we did have a left-wing media, we'd have Medicare for all, free college, and living wage by now. Why? Because they'd actually get the truth out about these incredibly good programs. But the media, of course, right now, they always cop for corporations and the status quo. And publish articles slamming progressive policy and Bernie Sanders, etc. But as establishment as the media is, and as much as they frustrate me, they're not responsible for this. The fringe right, and sometimes, yes, the fringe left, too, when they shoot a congressman or, you know, they break a few windows. But it's not equal. And that's what I'm trying to point out here. There's not parity here between two different sides. You want to talk about Antifa knocking over some trash cans and breaking a window? Okay, that's still wrong. But you want to compare it to the right wing that literally tried to send bombs to people or have killed people in abortion clinics, etc.? It's not even close. It's not even close. The extreme right in this country is far more dangerous. And it's being led, unfortunately, by people like Donald Trump. Now, here's the last final irony of this. Donald Trump doesn't even have a core ideology. Everything that he's doing right now, he does for his own benefit. He doesn't actually believe in anything other than, I want to do stuff that helps Donald Trump. And when that stops helping him, the man will turn on you so fast, your head will spin. So no ideology, no core, nothing but, hey, I'm going to milk this. I'm going to milk the rubes for as long as I can. So think about that while you sit here and defend this turd of a president.